Hey, Omega.
Yes, Gunner.
So, did you hear about Triple Mania this past weekend?
Yes, I actually saw quite a bit of it.
Oh, did you? So, did you listen to a bit of it, though? Because all I heard was... etc.
I hadn't realized that Matt Stryker had put on so much weight.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty sad when a major wrestling promotion has just as good, if not worse, production qualities as the show. Speaking of, let's start it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Woo Get Serious. My name is Gunner. That is Omega BR.
I did like the line about the English announce table.
Yeah. No, I thought that was funny too. So joining us this week is our technical producer, Mr. Yankum DDS.
Well, yeah, I'm here, I guess.
You're here to make some comments. I know. And also joining us this week is that guy that wasn't here last week. The one, the only, the net jester.
Hello, everybody out there in internet land, and the only thing I have to say to begin with is that if Tough Enough gets any whiter, you're not going to need eye bleach to get rid of all the stupidity that you see. It'll just be burnt out of your eyes.
If it's not white, it's not right.
This is getting way too racist for me. Speaking of racist, the word is John Cena versus Seth Rollins. The feud will be long-term, continuing into September at least. However, there is a concern that a winner-take-all stipulation for the match at SummerSlam doesn't really make much sense either way. While Sting was originally pegged for SummerSlam, it was likely that his return could help sell a future show instead. Officials are prepped to give a big top diva push that was pegged for Lana to Eva Marie instead. Paige's group is now known as Paige Charlotte Becky, or PCB, after the original Submission Sorority name was discovered to be an adult website. Bang Bros, who owns the site, claim a 35% surge in subscriptions as a result and plan to send a thank you basket to Vince McMahon. So,
Oh, due diligence. When you're not done, you're fantastic.
I think it's really funny that it just reminds me that there's a missed opportunity here. I mean, come on. What if you had a Paige, Charlotte, and Becky like Playboy or Bang Bros spread? I mean, come on. Wouldn't that just be something? I mean, they did that every year with other girls. Oh, wouldn't you want to see that?
Well, really, Submission Sorority is a much better name, but I guess they should have done their homework. After all, everybody... You know what everybody thinks of when they think of the SS.
Tell us.
Says Yankum. Oh God, I'm not
What's
getting
the
in the middle of that.
SS Omega?
Why, Subway sandwiches, of course.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Good save.
Oh Jesus.
You know, that Jared and all his current woes.
We're off topic here.
It really doesn't make much sense, Cena and Rollins. By the way, MJ, we can hear you now. Either Cena wins and he continues doing the U.S. Open whilst being champion, and Rollins, of course, tries to get the championship back, or Rollins wins, and I guess, is he really going to defend the U.S. title? I mean, probably not.
Well, I mean, he would probably end up defending. He would be made to defend the U.S. title every so often, and then it would be, it would be the WWE title at certain events. It really doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why they would do that. I could see Rollins, in some sort of heel fashion, being like, the U.S. Championship, it doesn't mean anything to me, so I'm going to vacate it. I just wanted to get it off of John Cena because he's a schmuck or something like that, and I could see him dropping it on Raw, and then Triple H announcing that there's going to be some sort of tournament with John Cena in it, and then I could see John Cena winning it back through that tournament.
Vacate, like I've been doing for the past week. Oh no, that was vacation. Excuse me.
Well, really what they should have done, I think, was, give Cena the match with Rollins, but he has to relinquish the U.S. title as a prerequisite. And then, the fact that this title means so much to him and he's tried to elevate it so much. But then you have Rollins egging him on and bring back the legitimacy that the WWE World Heavyweight title is, in fact, the bigger title, because they've kind of been doing this weird play lately where, no, the U.S. title is, in fact, more important, according to Cena, even, for little reason other than Cena holds the U.S. title and a guy like Rollins holds the world title. And I guess, really, if they're trying to make SummerSlam WrestleMania light, then it would have been a good time for Sting to return, but I guess there is a fair point in that if he was to return on one of the other so-called B pay-per-views, it would probably boost that pay-per-view's interest.
Hey, do you know what would make sense for a return? It would make sense for Survivor Series, since it's been a year since he's actually debuted in the company. Just me?
It would have been neat, I think, to do, after what happened at WrestleMania, try to do, finally, DX versus NWO. But,
Hogan.
You can't really do that anymore, I suppose.
Oh, ever think we'll see the Hulkster back, or is he persona non grata for at least a few years?
At least after WrestleMania, I think. I don't think that Hogan is going to be anywhere close to the company until after that point. Definitely after all of this nonsense with Gawker dies down. I really don't like the booking in this particular instance of this, whole, title for title thing. I think it's cool in concept, but a schmoz where both of them are able to keep their titles is the only way you're going to be able to end this properly, because I don't see one of them walking out with both titles.
Nope, that's for
No, it'll be a schmoz where they flip titles.
Oh God, how would they do
that? Oh wait,
I don't know.
A double pin, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's WWE, so they would figure. But yeah, a double pin. They double pin.
So you have him
flipping the titles.
So you have him tie the record. Oh God, ew! Oh, I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. So he ties the record with both of them.
Yes.
Oh, ew!
Grow up, said the name, so I must do this. Die, Gawker, die!
At some point, Cena's he's gonna beat the record for holding titles. It's it's just going to happen. It's something that we're going to have to live with. Tying the record on that would be awful and leave a terrible taste in my mouth, but it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, speaking of Gawker, the latest in that whole saga is that the National Enquirer now claims that Hogan must have lied under oath at some point, saying the transcripts reveal conflicting statements made separately to the FBI and the lawyers for Gawker. A legal expert was quoted as comparing it to Martha Stewart, and when she went to jail, saying that the reason she went to jail, it wasn't really the insider trading, it was the fact that she had lied to federal agents. Other legal news, Roman Reigns was hit in the head during a house show with a replica Money in the Bank briefcase during a match with Bray Wyatt. The fan that did it was reportedly drunk and being egged on by his friends and other members of the crowd. He was also ejected immediately by security. Will likely not be criminally charged, but is banned from all future WWE events.
Well, shit, now his buddies have to buy his tickets for him.
I'm not sure how they would enforce that other than maybe they have a sheet of, maybe when they go back to that area, they would have a sheet of pictures or some names and all that.
Right. But,
before Raw, this week, they apparently played a new, stricter toned message for the fans, when they say, don't do this, photos are okay, videos aren't, do not throw things in the ring, that kind of thing.
Well, he thought he was just throwing a streamer. He just got a few words off and a few pounds.
Well, he just wanted to cash in, it's what it is.
Right, yeah, he wanted to cash in. He thought that Roman should have won the Money in the Bank match, and he was mad about it.
No, he thought Roman had the title, and he was trying to cash in on Roman.
But the dude had such good aim. Did you see the pictures?
No.
Okay, so he's like first row or second row in the corner, right? And Roman's in the middle of the ring. So he has to launch this briefcase up and over the top rope from his position, 15, 20 feet away, and he donks him on the head.
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't. But goddammit, that's funny.
Well, I think the guys.
Okay.
And I saw the video of the aftermath too, and it was just a bunch of guys just hanging around.
So the guy threw a replica Money in the Bank briefcase in the ring. I'm missing a little bit of this.
Yep, that's what happened. He threw
Roman Reigns with it
in the head.
Wow. Okay. Serious injuries? What's going on?
No, not serious at all.
Well, it is basically just a plastic. It's made of plastic. It's one of those.
Yeah, he just got donked in the head, but the guy got thrown out. He wasn't trying to be anything other than.
He should, yeah.
So, do they say specifically what it is that the conflicting statements are?
No, it does not. But, knowing Hogan, I'm sure he probably exaggerated one thing and exaggerated it another way to another statement. It's not something I would say is out of the realm of possibility.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone is well aware of the fact that Hulk Hogan is a pathological liar.
There you go. There's the pictures for it. I think.
I don't know how much we could even talk about that until, we know exactly what it is that they're alleging he lied about.
It looks like it kind of caught him. The corner kind of caught him in the back of the head.
Back of the head.
Which, I mean, it's a scary thing.
Wow.
Honestly. I mean, you know,
what a shot!
I know, what a miracle shot.
I'm sorry,
like, I don't ever expect that.
That's once in a life. Like, if you're going to get bounced from WWE events forever, like, that is the shot that you want to get bounced for.
That's exactly it.
I'd like to point out that the case, he actually has adorned it with cut-out paper letters to make it say Sasha in the Banks.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying that he kind of modified it like a sign. Actually,
I see that.
You know, maybe I shouldn't bring this up, but there were reports that he had posted on a certain website that he was going to do this, and posted a photo of the said briefcase with the specific.
God damn it.
No,
this is why we can't have nice things.
Not ours. The other one.
The other one.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's move on here.
So maybe, bottom line is, predetermined or not, it's not a thing that you should do because you know he could have really. I mean, you know, it's bad enough. Yeah, you know, they're already in the ring. You know,
could have been something. It could have been something completely different that he could have tossed in there. That would have been 10 times as worse, and that we would have had, you know, Roman Reigns out on injury. How terrible would that be?
And by the way, it looks like Wyatt's gearing up to whack him with the kendo stick right as it happens. So you know that could have been a nice 1-2 punch.
Right. I one last thing before we move on. I would just like to once again point out the absolute beautiful arc that this guy threw goes. It doesn't just like, it's not a straight line at all. Roman is kneeling down in the ring, so it's kind of like this granny shot from past the arc, 3-pointer, like over the ropes and down, and this perfect arc where the corner of the case just nails him right in the head. It's if it weren't assault, it would be beautiful. Yep. And even though it is assault, it's still kind of neat.
Fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. Speaking of something that's fucking hilarious, CJ Parker is wrestling his last match later this month against EC3 in Enfield, Connecticut. ROH looking to do a women's honor set of shows, possibly bringing several talents from Japan. The New Day appeared on Talk is Jericho, where they revealed that Vince McMahon called Xavier Woods the name Zeke for several months. Bill DeMott has joined the RELM network for a new weekly show starting August 18th, and will be working with Vince Russo, who has several shows on RELM. So we know that it's going to be high-quality programming.
Talk about two people who deserve each other.
The press release, by the way, referred to Vince Russo as a wrestler.
That is disgusting. I vomited a little bit in the back of my mouth just hearing that.
I just died a little inside.
You want to bring some professional wrestling women from Japan over, who would be on your short list?
That'd be a question for Omega. I really don't have anyone that I can think of off the top of my head.
No, I mean there's some obvious ones you could along the girl.
I say Kana and Suri.
Possibly. I think Kana is actually sort of not retired or anything, but taking an extended hiatus to. I think she has some kind of career-related thing going on. You know, she was a designer. Shuri, I think, is still pretty active, although I think she's kind of been bouncing back and forth between wrestling and MMA.
Ooh, really? Didn't know she was a legit MMA'er.
Oh, yeah. To be honest, I haven't kept up with it quite as much recently as I have in the past, but I think if you were to really sort of, considering it's Ring of Honor, I think they have kind of a short list of, probably the same kinds of competitors that Shimmer would bring in on a fairly regular basis. If you want to kind of go for the popularity thing, if you could make this work, bring in some of the girls from Stardom, particularly Act. I can never pronounce it right.
We know who you're talking about, but I'd pay to see that show.
Act Yasukawa, I think it is.
Meanwhile, hey Zeke! Ezekiel Woods instead of Xavier Woods.
I'll be right back.
I can,
oh God!
I can only think that if Vince can't, remember a name, then this is proof right here, right now, of the senility we all think that Vince has, because Xavier and Zeke are two different names. They even have two different spellings.
Really? Do they?
Well, I'm telling this to Vince McMahon because I don't think he knows.
No, he totally knows. He does that shit on purpose. I don't know if you know this about Vince McMahon or not, but he's kind of a dick. And intentionally getting people's names wrong and calling them the wrong name, that sounds very Vince McMahonish. Especially if he can do it in a like a racist way.
Oh boy.
Well, there's the story of, and I forget who it is now, the story that he would step on somebody's foot whenever they were in the same room or close or whatever. And he would do it on purpose, thinking that, like for months, thinking that this person would eventually speak up and say something about it. And I guess they never did. Or maybe they did, but I forget who it was.
Vince McMahon is like if Lyndon B. Johnson ran a wrestling company.
The President of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson?
Well, I mean, he's not the president now, but yeah.
Okay.
That guy was a dick. Yeah, that guy was a dick too.
Oh, okay.
He would intentionally drag people into the bathroom with him and make them talk to him about, whatever it was he needed to talk to them about while he was taking a shit.
Free civics lesson here on Woo Get Serious, ladies and gentlemen.
He also called his driver the N-word very often.
Really? Damn, man.
I'm looking it up now, and I think it was actually Curtis Axel who he would put the foot to. And this was kind of, I think this was also about, I think Chris Jericho was talking about things Vince has done, and he kind of did the same. He didn't do that precisely to Kofi Kingston, but he did something to Kofi, and they were on a flight together, and Kofi challenged Vince to a fight, and I think they might have even locked up or something, and then Vince was impressed.
Odd.
No, that sounds like Vince McMahon to me. That totally sounds like something he would do.
Because wrestling the ability to get over with the crowd and genuine merchandise sales don't mean a shit unless you can fight the chairman of the company. My God! Can we get a share of the revolving here?
Well, Vince still owns all the majority of the company, as far as I'm aware. So even if all the other shareholders did get together and try and do something, they wouldn't be able to. But it's just macho bullshit. And if everyone that he did shit like that to would stand up to him, he'd probably just stop doing it. But a lot of people aren't willing to rock the boat or they fear for their jobs, so they're not going to stand up to the guy that signs their paychecks. So it just continues to go on.
I think it was actually Jericho who told Kofi that he needed to step up and challenge him because Vince had been making some snide remarks to him or something about that. So,
right. Well, Jericho would know. He put up with that shit for a long time. They did. If I remember correctly, they didn't like Jericho when he came in a whole lot, and they thought he was a complainer, which is weird because, like, reading his history, like his book from when he comes into the WWE on, it sounds a whole lot like when Foley came into the company from there on, as far as like talking to Vince about things that he didn't like and saying, hey, look, let's do it like this.
well, we could talk about that all night
for a while,
but I think we have other things to talk about, don't we?
No, not really.
like Triple Mania, which apparently we watched over the weekend.
Okay.
And a 15-minute time limit.
Hold on, doing point stuff.
Get it on, bang the gong.
All right, so this week on the 15-minute time limit, we're going to talk about Triple Mania. So this year, Triple Mania is like Triple Mania. For those of us who don't know, is Triple A's WrestleMania. It is the most important event of the year for them, and it's it's the first. It was the first Triple A pay-per-view in the U.S. in 21 years.
For those of us who actually watched it on pay-per-view.
Right. Did you watch it, Deshester?
I, to be perfectly honest, forgot all about it, and that's on me. But I did read some of the thread on Woo, and it sounded pretty damn good. I'm going to see if I can get a replay of it somewhere.
Oh my god! Well, all right. Well, there were only a couple matches on there. So basically, the whole show was plagued with the audio difficulties, and I think we'll get into that first. Throughout 3/4 of the show, the one of the announcers' audios was completely out, and also
Wow.
the crowd was poorly mic'd. I know Omega watched it. What did you think of the experience?
Well, it was poor, but something I think we've kind of come to expect. This being such a big event and it being a big company, it probably should have been better handled. But again, you kind of come to expect these things with any company that really isn't WWE or, I was about to say TNA, but
Especially TNA, yes. The quality of the matches themselves, I mean, all the technical bits aside, you didn't think that those were very good?
I think if you don't watch a lot of Lucha and you watch this event, you probably thought it was extremely goofy.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it.
And if you do watch Lucha and you watch this event, you probably thought it was extremely goofy.
It's a win-win.
It was very...
So basically what you're telling me is that this is like Goof Troop?
Yes, with...
No. Goof Troop was good. It's like a goofy movie.
Oh, dear Lord.
With the spray cheese and everything.
It's the Leaning Tower of Jesus.
Please, no. I've been working to get the weasel out of my mind for so many years, and I don't mean Bobby Heenan.
So, the first match on the show, Mini Psycho Clown, Mamba, Daga, Sexy Star versus Dinasta, Pimpinella Escalada, Goya Kong, and Drago.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Fantasticos for the match. Basically, Basically, these guys, these are the opening act and the kind of joke haha thing to get the crowd warmed up. Sexy Star, by the way, is also the same Sexy Star from Lucha Underground. This match I didn't see. What did you think?
Me some Sexy Star all day long.
This kind of set the tone for the night. Every match, like you said, this is just kind of a mishmash of minis and females. And by the way, Goya Kong is the daughter of Super Porky. As if you couldn't tell. They, a lot of goofiness, a lot of silliness, which you would expect, but then that really transferred over to the other matches as the card kind of rolled. By the way, there were only 6 matches on this card. It was a 3-hour show, if I remember right. So every match got a nice bit of time, particularly the 2 main events.
Which was a surprise in and of itself. I was expecting these matches to be much shorter, to be honest.
Well,
yeah.
If you have 3 hours and you have 6 matches, I mean, wow, okay.
By the way, Goya Kong is Porky's daughter.
Yeah, I just said that.
Super Porky. Sorry.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Glad I'm not the only one with mic problems.
Why don't you go ahead and just talk about the next match?
This was a match? Okay. Alright, Los Villanos 3, 4, and 5 versus the Psycho Circus.
Oh, God.
This is quite possibly the worst match you have ever seen in your entire life.
Okay, so let's just this out here right now. We're talking, if the Woosirion collection's the best, then we're talking here, what's the other name for the worst?
Yeah, that collection, it would be the crown jewel at this point in wrestling history. It would be the crown jewel. It's not because these guys can't go. It's not because these guys are bad. It's just the fact that they're old. Really old. Like, they debuted in 1975, old.
Like, this was, if I remember right, this was Villano 3's retirement match, technically. And he had been wrestling for 45 years at this point.
Wow.
And they were allowed to don their masks again by the sports commission.
Because some of them had lost them, hadn't they?
I believe so, yes. It was, Dave Meltzer said something to the effect of, think of the worst match you've ever seen. That was brilliant compared to this.
Jesus!
Meltzer says so.
I actually missed this match because of things, but this was the one. This and the next match I saw about half of the next match and then the rest of the show.
I thought we had a -5 stars sound. I guess not.
It's not good enough.
You banned my sound.
It's too good.
So...
It's too good. Like, really.
-5 is too good?
It's too good for this match.
-10?
-1,000.
Wow! A scale of 1 to 5, it's a -1,000.
Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt. Let's move on to the actually K match. This is a cage match with the belt hanging above the ring for the AAA Trios titles. It's Chessman and Cybernetico and Averno defending against Jack Evans, Angelico, and Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. and El Hijo del Fantasma and El Tejicano Jr.
Okay.
So Pentagon, you might know from Lucha Underground, Jack Evans, the guy that's been around AAA and Japan all his fucking life and, been flipping shit with Teddy Hart and all that. Alberto is the guy that is Mystic's biggest rival, the guy that they were thinking bringing him in when he was Sin Cara. And Phoenix is just amazing.
That would have been good if they did that, of course. Yeah, Vince. Oh, by the way, it's Disasterpiece Theater. Disasterpiece Theater.
Yes, Disasterpiece Theater. It'd be the crown jewel.
This was a lot of action, a lot of high flying, although not quite as much as you might expect because the cage they use kind of constricts them. There's not a whole lot of room to really get up and have a lot of free air to really, you use the entire space. But this was basically your kind of high-flying, action-packed scramble of the night.
Right. It basically was a steel beam across a steel cage in what should we call it, in the six-sided ring. So it was kind of like Full Metal Mayhem, and it was disgusting. Some of these bumps these guys were taking, and the small amount of space they were having. A trios match in a cage. How about that?
Yeah.
Too many people, too much stuff going on, and not enough people outside.
Exactly.
And so then, I think, what was it? Let's see here. So, they honored 3 people during the night. The first being Terapi Casas, the father of Negro Casas, who's retiring as a referee at the age of 82. I think they honored Demon, and they honored Pero. What's his face? Pero Aguirre Jr. and Hector Garza. That's who it was. They were inducted into the Hall of Fame.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, it was actually. It was the video segment, which I actually caught later. It was really good. You go check that out on YouTube. But Blue Demon Jr., La Parca, Macias, and Electroshock. I didn't catch this one.
It was not too bad. Probably the better match of the night at this point. I'm trying to think of things to say about it. It was.
If it's all right, it was just all right.
I mean, it wasn't amazing. It was a pretty standard tag match between the competitors. It was kind of. They kind of played it up like it was something kind of special. The rivalry, the fact that what happened at last year's Triple Mania, where Electroshock had to get his head shaved because of he was the last man out of the cage. But it really, and I think maybe this had something to do with it. But really, the whole night was kind of just leading to the 2 main events.
Right, and after this match, everything picked up. Like everything picked up. Like the audio didn't start working again, but the matches themselves started to really get going. Like after that Pedro Aguirre Jr.
So, who was on English audio for Triple Mania?
Hector Garza and Matt Striker.
Oh, okay.
Actually, one thing about this match. I remember at one point. I think it was Demon knocked Park. No, it was. I guess it was Electroshock knocked Parka into the front row, and this is kind of where you see the lucha style is sometimes a little slower, a little more exaggerated because they do kind of play it up like what's happening in the ring. It's not like how in WWE and a lot of times they don't want punches that look fake and really kind of goofy looking and everything, but this was going on here, and Parker gets knocked into the front row, and his leg knocks over somebody's popcorn bucket, which spills all over the guy's, I'm assuming, wife, and she just gets this really shocked look on her face. It was pretty funny. So that's the main thing I remembered from the match.
Yeah, I definitely got to check out a video of this.
So then you had...
All right, next match, which I really liked. Alberto El Patron versus Brian Cage. If you haven't seen Brian Cage before, he is giant.
I believe they call him the Machine. He was, if you remember the name Chris Logan from FCW, he was there. Cage's whole gimmick is that he's American nationalist, basically. He came out in a Trump for President shirt. He was very... Yeah. El Patron comes out with the mariachi band, and at one point I believe they played a hook from his WWE theme.
Yeah, they started with the El Mariachi Band, and his WWE theme kicked in for as long as they could do it without getting sued. And it was awesome, because it was live mariachi.
The trumpet part is what they did. And then...
just so cool.
It's funny because El Patron still has ADR on all of his gear.
She's really funny.
He came out in the sparkly robe and the studded tights and everything. Yeah, it was a pretty good match. I think they did a lot to the outside. They did a lot of back and forth. There were a lot of moments you thought Cage could win. In fact, the nameplate they put up for Cage as he came into the ring actually said winner. And what they do is after the pin, they put up the nameplate of the winner and it says winner. So everybody had thought that, well, they just spoiled the match by mistake. But in fact, El Patron won.
So do you think that was an actual botch and they decided when the match got started to have ADR win it?
No, I think it was always Alberto was always destined to win the match, and as the
I like that, destined.
Yeah, as was the result of the main event,
which is Rey Mysterio versus Mystices.
By the way, 1 second. Patron and Cage. It was a hair versus hair match, by the way. If we hadn't mentioned that yet, and really, both guys have short hair. I mean, not buzz cuts or anything, but like about as close to the scalp as it can get, where you can still say, they aren't bald or shaved or buzzed or anything. So, I mean, it was kind of a goofy stipulation in that respect, but anyway, the main event. Rey Mysterio Jr. and
Mystices.
Mystices is
Mystices. Yeah, Mystices
came down.
Sin Cara.
Yeah, and he came, the former Mystico, and he came down on a harness, Mission Impossible style.
And Rey Mysterio came out as the Red Arrow, right?
Oh, really?
Something like that, yeah.
He had kind of a devilish outfit on, and he had two big wings, feathery wings.
Yeah, him and his matches, him and his costumes of superheroes and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this was a really good match. They traded finishers, like Mystices did the 619, And Ray won on the Sin Cara armbar thingy.
La Mystica. Which, by the way, the announcers did not seem to know that that was his move.
That kind of doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was his. Rey Mysterio made him tap out with his own move.
The story behind the match, really, the idea that the crowd was very vocally behind Mysterio and sort of booing Miss Disease because he was not Mysterio.
Right, Mysterio is basically a god at this point.
Yeah, Miss Disease kind of doing more heelish tactics. Kicks to the gut and the legs. He slammed him on the English announce table at one point.
And I think that's... Are you going to ring that buzzer or what?
Well, by the way, the Mysterio did win, and then out came a bunch of Rudo's bad guys and they teamed up, beat him off, and then Miss Disease spit some kind of mist.
What was that?
Spit some kind of mist into Mysterio's face, and basically got on the mic and said that he doesn't have to care what the people think anymore. Basically turning Rudo heel and challenging Ray to mask versus mask.
Fuck, was there a donkey show too?
Yep.
I mean, they come out and just start beating guys off. You might as well have a donkey show while you're at it.
All right, so that's it. Who wants ice cream?
I do.
Well, we've had tacos. How about some ice cream?
Time for the Dairy Queen drive-thru. With the ratings, it's gonna be Yankum.
Hold on, because my second monitor just turned itself off for no reason, and I was giving MJ points.
Wow,
That's
really?
The reason.
Things are flickering, and I'm scared.
That is scary.
Remember, if you see a ring, run the other direction.
Okay, I got it. This week in the ratings, Impact drew 327,000 viewers. That's down 5% from the 343,000 previously. ROH was also down 12%. SmackDown drew 2.405 million. That's down 2% from the 2.443 million the previous week. And Raw drew 3.838 million. That's up 3.7% from last week's 3.702 million. And Tough Enough, finally, it drew 1.025 million. Can we just say a million? Like, do we really need the 0.025? Like, how much is 0.025 of a million? It can't be that much, right? Maybe a couple thousand?
It would be 20. It'd be 25,000.
Okay, I guess that is quite a few. Anyway, that's up from the 856,000 the previous week.
So, okay, Tough Enough hanging out about 1 million viewers. SmackDown doing its normal numbers. Raw doing its normal numbers. And Impact doing... Impact, though. Impact.
Impacting its face to the mat, yes.
With the birthdays, it's Natchester.
And with the birthdays today, person, place, and thing for the week of... Are you kidding me? Seriously, you want the handful of people, probably ranging in the dozens, who listen...
It's a real person, dude. It's a real person.
That's a real person. That's
CMLL. CMLL, the 90s. Go look it up.
All right. I do this under protest, knowing that I'm probably being sacked, but, ladies and gentlemen, according to this happy birthday, on the 11th, we have none other than Hulk Honky. Yeah, I don't believe it either. But to continue, on the 12th we have Dr. Wagner Jr., on the 13th, we have the legendary Jumping Jim Brunzell. On the 14th, we have presidential candidate himself, Bob Backlund, Bobby Eaton, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Kofi Kingston, and Super J. On the 15th, we have Ruckus, Rio. Thank you. Rio Sayato and Kazuyo Yamazaki. I think I got that right. And on the 16th, we have none other than Dirty Dick Murdoch and the legendary Fritz Von Erich, patriarch of the Von Erich wrestling clan. Rounding out on the 17th, we have cheerleader Melissa.
Alright, and now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this week in wrestling history, circa 1966, where Lester Welch defeats Sputnik Monroe in a tournament final in Tampa, Florida, to win the NWA Florida Heavyweight title. Jump to 1991, where Jerry Lawler defeats Awesome Kong in Memphis, Tennessee, to win the USWA Unified Heavyweight title for the 9th time. And in 1992, Johnny Hotbody defeats Larry Winters in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to become the first ECW television champion. Hotbody initially won via DQ after Winters hit referee John Finnegan, but Todd Gordon ordered the match to continue due to pre-match stipulations. Hotbody won the belt. And ECW champion Jimmy Snuka also defeated Super Destroyer #1 on this show by disqualification. And that was This Week in Wrestling History.
Happy trails this week to Rosa Mendez, who reveals she's pregnant. She's gonna have a little baby. It's gonna be a girl, apparently. And happy trails to Stevie Ray, brother of Booker T, who had his Wildcat heavyweight title stolen from his Cadillac Escalade while he was eating.
Oh, good God. Really? You can't lock your doors?
He might have already, and you.
Well, I believe his window was smashed in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they stole something from him. Come on. All right.
I assume you'd had the title belt sitting on the freaking front seat somewhere in perfect display. We wouldn't even think about throwing a coat over something like that.
You're assuming. You're making so many assumptions there, it's not even funny. And you know what that means? It just makes an ass out of you.
Gesundheit.
All right. Yankum, let's do these points.
All right, here we go. I gotta scroll back down.
I assumed I stalled long enough for you to count them all.
Yeah, you did. I was just adding in for the totals here, which we got. All right, so we start off with negative 271 points to NetJester for showing up. And then we have another negative 10 points to NetJester for Tough Enough. Tough Enough is not a thing unless it's some kind of weird chewy snack that I've never heard of. Minus 15 points to Omega BR. That's racist. I'm not even sure which thing we were talking about, but he saved that back. He got another 15 points positive for the good save on the SS. It does indeed stand for Subway sandwiches, which is what the Nazis were fighting for. Then it goes negative 5 points to Omega BR for implying that Cena might not win. Then Gunner gets negative 5 points for applying logic to the WWE ever. Minus 5 to NetJester. Vacate the TeamSpeak server. Minus 2 to Gunner for mentioning Gawker. Please don't do that. Minus 5 to NetJester for not paying attention during something that I forgot about because I wasn't paying attention. Minus 5 points to Gunner for it's pronounced Realm, the acronym, Realm, not spelled out R-E-L-M, you say Realm. Negative 2 points to NetJester, because I can. Minus 4 points to Gunner for leaving, because I assume he was going to get food, but I don't care. We're trying to make a show here. Let's be professional. And then 5 points to Gunner for making it back after leaving. Negative points to NetJester. Get it on and bang your mom. Not a gong. 20 points to Omega BR for shitting on TNA production value. It's funny because it's true. Minus 50 points to NJ for not liking Pauly Shore when I do. Don't disagree with me. I'm in control of the points. Also minus 20 points for being sexist about Sexy Star and implying naughty things when you said you would watch her. 3 points to Omega BR for the nervous laughter during the segment there. Minus 15 points to Gunner for not paying attention to Omega BR and repeating something that he said. Then minus 5 more to Gunner for them terrible Spanish name pronunciations. Negative 10 to both of you, Gunner and Omega, for boring the shit out of me and the audience during that whole thing with the AAA whatever battery thing it was. I didn't care. Probably no one else did. You talk about like it's horrible. We probably could have talked about something else for 15 minutes. Minus 75 to NetJester for the racist taco comment. We don't do that here. Minus 50 for still saying, this is also to NetJester, for still saying person, place, or thing on the birthdays. That hasn't been on the format for like a year. Please stop saying it. Also another negative 22 NetJester for saying none other way too many times. And then minus 50 to NetJester for mangling the names again, which brings us to a total of minus 568 points to NetJester for the episode, minus 41 to Gunner for the episode, and positive 8 to Omega BR for the episode, bringing our totals up to, if I can scroll correctly here, minus 77 for Gunner, 78 for Omega BR, and negative 568 to NetJester.
Hey guys, you know that the Best of World Extreme Cage Fighting's on right now? I just thought since we had nothing else to do for the past few minutes.
Minus 10,000 points.
My God. Alright, what should we watch this week in wrestling, NetJester?
Well, I just purchased, as it was on its way out at Kmart, Just Say Yes, 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 the life history and career of Daniel Bryan, and there's some good stuff on this disc. I'm going to pick the very first match on it, which is from Austin, Texas on February 8th, 2000. The Brian Kedrick and Lance Cade, versus the tag team of Shooter Schultz and American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, as he was known back then.
Alright, so, here. Yankum, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I didn't even get to watch wrestling this week. I'm going to watch Raw. How about... No, I've suggested that one a bunch. What about... No.
Maybe something old.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. First I was like, ooh...
I think really old.
Yeah, that's why I was like Michaels versus Y2J, and I was like, no, I've suggested that one.
I think
yeah. How about... How about a Honky Tonk Man match?
Ugh. Which
you
one?
said no?
I said, ugh. Which one?
Oh, come on. Honky wasn't that bad.
Can
How
can you give more
about...
negative points to him now?
Yes, I can. He's at negative 10,368, just so you know.
Oh, good.
The taco comment was because I had tacos for dinner.
You're
You
racist. You're racist.
You're whack-a-mole.
How about... Oh, gosh. Ultimate Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man at SummerSlam 1988. How's that for an old match?
That works. That works.
And it's short. It won't take you long. I thought I could find one where he faced Lawler himself, but I don't see one showing up here on Google.
Right. I figured that, yeah, that's exactly what you were doing. Omega BR, what should we do with it? What should we watch this week in wrestling?
I can't remember a particular match, but I know that Super Porky, Brazo de Plata, as he's known, was in WWE. I believe he had a match. Actually, maybe he didn't, because that division didn't last very long. But if he didn't, go look up some of his lucha matches. Why not?
Because who doesn't love Super Porky?
And you know,
Turning to
Psycho
fucking
Clown.
Zoidberg for a second there. Check out his matches, why not? How about Zoidberg?
What about Zoidberg?
Plus 20 points.
So you should. Yeah. All right. There we go. We got that. Jacob got one in. Jester got one in. My turn. So you should watch the G1 tournament, which is wrapping up this week. The month-long, round-robin tournament from NJPW. It's in its 25th iteration. And you're going to see a few awesome things there. Like, for example, the AJ Styles versus Bad Luck Fale match from last night's Night 14's matches. I'm super, super amazed that was a thing. Not only was that a thing, but it was a pretty amazing thing. So they're both in the Bullet Club, right? So...
Yeah.
Well, you'd expect he wanted Fale to do the get on your back thing so I can win. AJ did, and they had an amazing match that went all through the stadium, and it ended with AJ putting his feet on the ropes and getting the cheap win over Fale. This is probably setting up a Fale face turn. And moving him away from the group, which would be really stupid to be perfectly honest with you. But it could happen.
Wow.
Yep. Alright, so that's it for this week. By the way, Jerry Lynn did get his money for his surgery, and surgery was successful for those of us who were here last week. So you could check us out on online at smarksnark.com, smarksnark@gmail.com if you'd like to email us, facebook.com/smarksnark, twitter.com/smarksnark if you want to take a look at if you want to communicate with us during Raw and stuff like that. And then you can check out you can give us a phone call. That number is 812-408-9666 or 812-408-WOO. And that's it. Am I missing anything?
Facebook, Twitter, phone number,
Email.
Do we have an Instagram?
No, we don't have an Instagram. You can have an Instagram if you want.
Who would want to
We would. You shut up.
Negative 100 points.
Would we use that? It seems like we might possibly use that.
If you want to use it, you want to post on it, go for it.
Let's do that. Let's do that. And when one of us goes to like a wrestling event or something, we'll put that on the official Snark Instagram. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's do that. You shut up.
All right.
Negative 1,000 points.
Well, since I'm the last one who went to a wrestling event here.
Oh, I'm going to NXT in October.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to CCW here. Either 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so that'll be fun. I don't know who they're going to have there, but it's probably just locals.
You know what to do.
And them. Yeah.
You know.
So as usual, when we end the show, we want to wish you the very, very best in all your past, present, and future endeavors.
Now, you wouldn't think that tacos and ice cream go together, but I'm telling you.
Gross.
Remember, I promised I wouldn't move you from the TeamSpeak room anymore.
You're not going to keep your promise, are you?
Gonna move them. Yeah!
I was already on top of it. That's what she said.
Omega BR.
Good night, Guadalajara.